The weather was still overcast with occasional rain. I arranged a small group tour of Hanoi through Crossing Vietnam Tour. They planned for my tour guide, Vtu, to pick me up in a van at my hotel.
Hi, my name is Vtu. I'm the local tour guide in Hanoi, and it's very nice to meet you.
The first stop on the tour was Tran Quoc Temple, which is the oldest Buddhist temple in Hanoi and is located on a small island near the southeastern shore of West Lake. The Tran Quoc Temple was originally constructed in the 6th century. The temple buildings are painted a vibrant yellow color. And the pagoda, the oldest in the city, towers over the temple complex. There are various shrines within the temple walls. And a very tranquil area with a koi pond and a statue of Maizu, who is the goddess and patroness of the sea. Also statues of deer in the gardens. The pagoda has strong religious significance. The ashes of important monks from the temple over the years are stored here, along with their commemorative statues. This tree, with lotus flower decorations around its base, is said to bring good luck if you walk around it 3 times clockwise, which I did in keeping with local custom. The lotus flower decorations symbolize purity of the mind, body, and speech, and also enlightenment and achievement. Leaving the temple behind, we passed this Christian church, also painted bright yellow, on our way to our next stop, the government district, where we expected to visit the mausoleum of Ho Chi Minh. But unfortunately, the area was closed and under guard, as there was an important meeting going on at the National Assembly House, which we caught a glimpse of as we drove by. We tried going around to a side street entrance, but that was closed as well. But we did get to see this corner store, where one could buy wreaths and flowers to bring to the mausoleum. The next stop was Golden Lotus Silk, a 5-story store offering hand-embroidered artworks, traditional Vietnamese áo dai, the national dress, other silk goods, jewelry, gemstones, and Vietnamese coffee. I watched the embroidery people at work, then headed upstairs to grab a coffee. I decided to try the Weasel coffee, Coffee made from beans that were eaten by Asian palm civets, then passed through their digestive tract before being collected and brewed. Despite this coffee being rare, expensive, and highly sought after for its distinct flavor, I have to admit that my palate is not educated enough to tell the difference. The next stop was Vietnam's first university, the Imperial Academy, which was established in ancient times to educate Vietnam's bureaucrats, nobles, royalty, and other members of the elite. The beautifully manicured gardens were an oasis of peace in the middle of the bustling city. With interesting modern art sculptures and more traditional artworks. A very large fish pond with topiary, I saw these ladies posing in their áo dyes, the national dress of Vietnam. There were interesting sculptures in the courtyards, displays about the history and dress in the ancient times, a hall of calligraphy, stelae commemorating the famous scholars of the imperial era. The stelae are mounted on top of stylized turtles, the symbol of wisdom and knowledge. At one end of the complex was the beautiful Temple of Literature. The entrance was flanked by two large bronze sculptures of cranes standing on the backs of turtles. In Asian mythology, cranes are seen as representing good fortune, longevity, and also symbolize grace. They are standing on the backs of turtles, the symbols of wisdom and knowledge. You can see the places where generations of visitors have touched the cranes for good luck. The temple contained many statues and artworks venerating some of the ancient masters of this first university of Vietnam. The temple had, on one side, a bell pagoda, and on the other side, a drum pagoda. I chanced upon a monk walking in the gardens. Next, we drove past the colonial-era opera house built by the French. Note the cyan-colored car. It is an example of one of the first Vietnamese domestically produced cars. We drove past Hoa Kiem Lake, also known as Sword Lake. To our last stop, Cafe Min, which specialized in Vietnamese egg coffee. The beautifully presented egg coffee was quite flavorsome. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share.